Hello Dave, I'm sitting here literally under Baobab tree at the Imperial War Museum Gardens, and I'm going to try giving you some feedback, just general feedback on the coaching using this video, and I can do it in writing, but I just thought I would try this. So we met 4 times. We met on the 21st of January, the 28th, the 4th of Feb and the 11th. We postponed, no, we met on the 11th and then we went to the 26th. I think the 21st must have been the, what's it called, introduction. So just working back, final coaching session, we closed off, I think, really well, talking about how you came to be asking me to be a coach, or how I offered to be coaching you as part of my training. Thank you very much for doing it, and thank you for agreeing. And also it actually relates to you asking me for my advice on the Samba school, which precedes that by a month or 2, but it's also related to the reason I'm doing coaching. You knew that I was passionate, you said, which I felt very pleased to hear, and that you felt that you had hit a seam in the sense that there was an interest. There was definitely a shared interest, which I was very happy to know about on the review on the 26th of Feb. Also that you believed that I was open to your wishes, in the sense that I could be open to what you wanted to talk about, because we did have a number of other things going on in the background. We had a bit of history already, you know, talking to each other's fathers and so on, and I'm glad that you felt that it was open and it was a kind of mutual space to talk about what you wanted to talk about in the coaching. You said that we talked a little bit about what becoming a coach meant, and that you had some ideas about that already, that you do coaching as well, and it expanded, I think, a mutual desire to understand coaching. So going back to the previous session was the 11th of Feb. Some of the key things there were you'd been very busy prior to the session, and we talked about Adam, carpenter, kitchens, and groups of buildings. I think that was to do with a friend of yours who had a space that he was developing. And we talked about Dave Potter, which is interesting, and the quartermaster and the stalwart as different roles in the Samba school. Then we talked about Zurich to Bordeaux, and the first stage of planning a camping trip, including camping stoves. We started to talk about camping stoves. We somehow then nicely dived into the 4 agreements of Don Miguel Ruiz, the Toltec wisdom, which I was new to at the time, and I've been getting a lot from that. Be impeccable in your word, don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, and always do your best. And we talked about some key points for the planning of a father-son trip, such as freshwater and saltwater swimming, hunting, Tintagel, passport, park farm and camping tent and sleeping bag. And in addition, some discussion of dropping a pollock and the Aquila at Mevagissey. So going back to the previous session before that, it was the 4th of Feb. We covered using Atlassian for a non-profit organisation, which was actually really interesting to me, and Trello, and we talked about the Samba band at Zouk, and I think via the noise in my background of the juicer, we got talking about angle grinders. And we also talked about being unfit and the Schlinger trainer. Then, yeah, we began to talk about the trip with the boy, and it was the 20th of June to the 21st of July that I noted. We had Mevagissey and Cornwall, the fishing boat and the pollock and whiting and cod, the spinning rod, freshwater, framework, Rosgift, Plymouth, Bath, London. So yeah, that was about Kailash and Dave, and hunting, seawater, and the British passport. And we talked about August. I guess that's a time frame for Kai to return to US, or maybe when Kai came from the US last time. And we discussed Zurich. We discussed fears that it might not go ahead, or the fear that Kai might shut down, and we agreed, or we heard about your aim, that you would know him better. I think that's the key thing that I remember you saying on that session. So this has just been, well, it's been 7 minutes now, but I think that's a summary of the last 2 coaching sessions, and I will put the remainder in text form. But I hope you've enjoyed this short reflection on the coaching that we did the last 2 sessions, and I look forward to seeing you soon, Dave. Okay, bye.